long for this war. Buy my guns. Big shop's got it.
Ah, you there. Are you that detective I've heard about?
I guess you could say that.
Oh, wonderful. I wasn't sure how I was ever going to find you. I haven't been able to find any of the local police force. The louts. I don't want to start a panic, but, well, we may have a murder on our hands, and we need an outside set of eyes.
Okay, I'll help.
Oh, thank goodness. Shall I guide you to the Cliff's Edge Hotel now?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's be off then.
Fighting time.
Looks like it isn't just the police who have been lax lately. The Idlands building inspector ought to be fired.
Insert something Shakespearean involving inevitable doom here.
It's probably best Maxwell hasn't seen the state of the hotel. He would be devastated. I should warn you, some of the other hotel guests are a bit, rowdy. To defend myself when a few became a bit handsy, shall we say. The registered patrons are in a more exclusive area of the hotel, though, and do not associate with this sort of rabble. Shall we be off?
Yeah. Let's go.
Very good. This way.
I should have a battle cry.
Drat. The elevators seem to be out of order on this level. We'll have to take the long way around.
You know, ammo isn't cheap. Can we just pay you to play dead? We win. Again. We got fun time incoming. Really? Sometimes I just want to pop a stealth boy and bug out. Anyone got some old water? Seems we have a tail.
This elevator leads to the exclusive area of the hotel. You should feel quite privileged that they will be allowing you in. After you. The elevator is right there. You need to speak to Maxwell. Go ahead and activate the control panel there.
Greetings! Welcome to Vault 118. Your home away from home, underground. Are you the detective we sent for?
It's me, Pearl. I've returned with the investigator.
Let me just get the door for you. Well, it's about time the police sent someone out to investigate. We have many important residents, and they are very worried.
I'm here now. We'll get to the bottom of this.
I cannot tell you what a relief it is, Detective. I've learned the moods of our patrons well enough to tell you the tensions are high. They're at the crime scene again. Don't they realize that they're going to disturb the evidence? You'd better come with me, Detective.
I shall return to my workstation and allow you to take things from here.
What the hell do you think you're doing? This is a crime scene.
Do you not see the glory of the thing, the artistry?
What the hell is wrong with you?
Excuse me?
Ezra, you have outdone yourself. This is your finest work. There is more emotion in his death than most have had in their entire lives.
Our friend
One day
is
the
dead,
railroads
Mr.
will
Rapita.
move you.
Have you no respect?
Not that
You
day.
think that at least he had the decency to make his
Can't shake the
spectacle of
feeling we're
There is
bothered.
Please, if I may.
That's
If
what
I
this is
could
to
just
you?
have your attention.
You're sick.
I'm sorry for shouting. But the detective has arrived and shall begin the investigation henceforth. Please return to your rooms until the detective has examined the crime scene and had a chance to come speak with you. Have a look at the crime scene for clues. You're ready, we can discuss your findings. You are free to question the residents, but their safety is our priority. So unless you have solid evidence, I would avoid accusations.
Is this blood? Looks like the brain enclosure was smashed. Bingo. A baseball bat? Huh. What's this doing here?
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
Tell me about the victim.
Mr. Ezra Parker was the primary owner and financier for the hotel. He had vast experience managing venture projects around the world. It was his idea to have our premier clients become investors in the vault section of the hotel. He worked with Vault Tech to have this built to their every specification. Was there anything else?
Your residents are robots.
Not robots, Detective. Well, not exactly, anyway. I believe the term they use is robo-brain. Back before the war, the residents decided the best way to wait it out was to put their brains inside robotic chassis. Was there anything else?
I found the murder weapon.
Oh, no. That's the bat from Mr. McKinney's movie. You don't think he could be involved, do you? I can't imagine him ever doing such a thing. Was there anything else?
I'm not sure where I should start.
I suppose you should try to figure out how he died, and then who had the means and motive to kill him. Once you have enough evidence, then I suppose you'll need to confront the killer. Was there anything else?
Never mind.
I'll be here should you need me.
Why'd you do it, Mom? He deserved better than that.
You think I'm stupid? I saw the way he looked at you. You gonna tell me that? Nothing?
Helped me out of a tight spot.
I like some pasty-faced Percy while he put the moves on my best girl.
But now the law is on our tail. What are we going to do?
Come with me. Let's leave this dark hole of a city behind. We can be in Buenos Aires by tomorrow.
Oh, I want to believe you, I do, but...
Make us stand here. I've got a
Bingo.
gun for each of us.
No. The line is, then we'll make our stand here. Two lovers together.
Protect and serve.
Over 200 years of life and then poof, gone. Tragedy. The hilarity. Over 200 years of life and then
Protect and serve.
I never really much cared for the Minutemen. The idea sounds great, but you give small men big power, and sometimes you'll pay for it.
Progress on construction of the second wing of the vault is completely stalled. Once the premier area of the vault had been completed, funding seems to have been cut off. My supervisors have informed me that they haven't received payment from Mr. Parker, and Vault-Tec won't pay out of pocket to continue construction. I've repeatedly approached Ezra about the finances, but he keeps telling me that Mrs. Riggs hasn't transferred the funds. However, when I asked her, Juliana said that she had just given Ezra extra for the gold paint in the rooms. I've hired an investigator to look for signs of embezzlement in a few weeks.
Sounds like Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
Hello, Mr. Whiskers. Who's a pretty... Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
There's evidence Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
Oh, well, I really don't believe that. Mr. Parker wouldn't do such a thing, I'm sure.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
If you ask me, it's one of those actors. Or that horrible painter. Their type is always the cause of violence.
What's with all the junk in here?
These are our things. We're just waiting till the war blows over so we can bring them back to the mansion.
Maybe later.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective.
Juliana, Mr. Whiskers died last month. This is Scruffy. Remember? 100 years of life and then poof, gone.
Because horrible Bert didn't believe me.
Oh, God, Juliana.
Have fun here.
I'm going to the lab.
Takes a real slog. It's almost aggressive.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
I found your baseball bat at the crime scene. Care to explain how it got there?
Someone is clearly trying to frame me for the murder. It's probably Santiago. You saw him skulking around the crime scene.
What were you and Gilda talking about when I walked in?
Oh, we were just rehearsing a scene. Nothing to worry about.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
It's obviously Santiago. He keeps going back to look at the crime scene.
Maybe later.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help.
Well. If it isn't the long arm of the law. Tell me, are you a devotee of the arts? Does that cruel muse call you to her entrapping bosom?
Art is life. Without it, we are no different than animals.
Perhaps, if all we are is a sentience floating in a suit of flesh, or metal, I suppose, then art is the only true communion with the world. Come with me. Tell me, what does this piece say to you?
It's about composition. The balance of colors and emotions and the struggle to maintain internal order.
Indeed. This was the last piece I did in a series of portraits of Gilda. Number 1378. Her emotional landscape is superimposed on the portrait. The reality of the subject is distorted as the ego attempts to project itself. This way. Tell me, what does this one say to you?
It's the war. Bombs from every direction. No up or down. The world turned on its head.
I suppose in a way it must be. Art shapes the world, and the world shapes art in return. All art must therefore be constantly reborn through the lens of contextual and historic interpretation. We must ascend. And what about this one? And please be honest, for art without honesty is just politics.
It's a metaphor. A young creature grappling with ideas it doesn't possess the capability to understand.
Intriguing. The mind will superimpose meaning where none was intended. I had not considered it. Truth be told, this is my best-selling piece. I did this series under a pseudonym, of course. The series has made more money than any of my serious works. And I did the whole thing as a lark. What does that tell you about the value of art to the common man? My fellow connoisseur of the art, here to see my latest work.
I think you should explain why you keep returning to the crime scene.
It's for inspiration, detective. The others do not like to think about it, but even we shall die someday. Like Prometheus's torch, it kindles within me the fire to create as much art as I can. The time that I have.
It sounds like you've done a lot of paintings of Gilda. Why her?
Our Gilda is a very singular creature, detective. Do you not see the joie de vivre from within her? I have never met another who clings to life so tenaciously, who lives so in the moment. I must admit I was quite smitten with her for a time.
You're still in love with Gilda, aren't you?
So what if I am? What business is it of yours? She deserves someone who truly understands her ephemeral beauty. Not a broke actor.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
The person you should be looking at is Juliana Riggs. That Philistine would not know art from her own excrement. She and Ezra had a rather dramatic fight recently. You could hear her banshee screeches all the way across the hotel.
What were Juliana and Ezra arguing about?
I don't know. I was painting at the time and I was trying to block it out. Though I bet Gilda probably heard them. Maybe you should check with her.
Tell me about yourself.
What is there to tell? I am one of the premier artists in the world. My work is primarily in oil paint, but I have been known to do sculpture or performance art as well.
Maybe later.
Good. I hope my paintings are able to open your mind to new possibilities.
We've been traveling for a spell. I was hoping to have some words with you.
Now's a good time.
I'm used to flying solo, but I gotta admit, working with you makes me think I've been missing out. Having someone watching your back is refreshing. Especially since you never know when the Institute is watching.
The feeling's mutual.
I gotta say, you make it look easy, but you have some built-in advantages. Some people at HQ are jealous. You took the big nap and everyone you knew is long gone. Now, hear me out on the silver lining. If a human in the railroad slips up, then they expose friends and loved ones to danger. You're safe from that.
Well, I guess I'm a little lucky then.
What's done is done, and the upshot is you're in a position where you can act openly. If you go to ground, there's little the coursers can do about it. It doesn't matter much to me. I'm a simp. At least that's what they tell me. So I really don't have anything to lose. For Glory and me and the others, it's easier to dedicate ourselves to the cause.
You're a synth? Why didn't you tell me before?
I don't like talking about it. I was one of the first synths they did the whole cranium reboot on, so it's a bit of a botched job. Most synths have fun fake memories. A happy home, a family. Me, I got nothing. And that, well, it does something to you. Since we're traveling together, I want you to take this. It's my recall code. If you ever need to know something about the Institute, read it to me.
What's the recall code do?
That's the safety net the brain docs put in. An ejector seat to bring back your old synth self. I don't know for certain, but I imagine it's a big old wad of trauma and cupcakes. Except with no cupcakes. Don't use the code unless you absolutely have to. It'll wipe my memories. I'm not sure how much of me will even be left. You know, I'd just feel better if you didn't read it until you need it.
Someone with a body like that in far, far too long.
Oh, you're not so bad yourself.
You should have seen me before all this. Red hair that was the envy of every girl and legs for days, darling. I'm sure you'd rather hear some of my stories from the silver screen rather than talk about that nasty murder business.
I must say, you're quite the actress.
What can I say? It just comes naturally. Care to hear some of my stories, Detective?
Have you ever done radio? Your voice is quite enchanting.
Well, darling, play your cards right, and maybe I'll whisper some sweet nothings in your ear. Surely you must be here for my salacious stories of the silver screen.
I must say, I've known flesh and blood girls who aren't half the woman you are.
Keep it up, Tiger, and we'll find out if you can handle how much woman I am. Care to hear some of my stories, Detective?
Why don't we grab a bottle of wine and go watch the sunset?
Sounds good, Detective. great, Detective. But we probably shouldn't make a habit of this. Catch you later, Tiger.
Protect and serve.
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
I heard you had a big fight with Ezra a few days ago. Care to explain?
Oh, well, it wasn't that big a deal, really. He wanted more money to pay for repairs on the hotel. I wasn't feeling well that day and lashed out a bit at the poor man. I really should have listened to him more.
I think you're the real murderer.
That's just silly, Detective. Why would I want to kill Mr. Parker?
Ezra was embezzling your money. That's why you killed him and framed Keith.
You were so close, Detective.
It's a shame. I thought I could keep the ruse going a little longer. Oh, well. Had to end eventually, I suppose. This doesn't have to end in more violence, Detective. Just walk away. I'll leave, and you can tell them I escaped.
Not a chance. Your murder spree stops here.
Then let us end this.
You're going down. That's medicine, right? Brotherhood. In Capital Wasteland, they really weren't bad. But now... I'm ready for it.
normal. Law and order has been restored.
I found the killer. It was Ezra. He killed Juliana and took her place to hide his tracks.
My word! I never thought Mr. Parker was capable of something like this. What happened when you confronted him?
He attacked me. But it's over now. Your residents are safe.
Here you are, Detective. Payment for your services and a bonus for uncovering such a heinous plot. I don't think we could have done it without you.
Ah, the time-honored tradition of looting.
Good day to you.